All right, and you can move your microphone up like 2 inches, Todd, please.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I like right where it is.
Okay, then.
He said he could.
You should.
You didn't tell him to.
It's fine.
That's fine. All right.
Okay.
You just said you could.
Action.
Hey guys, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of The Waterhole. I did kill my buck near my waterhole just a few days ago, so I guess, you know
Do
what?
you think the waterhole contributed to your success in this particular hunt?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Not because he came and got a drink, but because it actively has pulled in does in that area, and the does frequent there, so I get a lot more photos of does specific in that area, so I think he was looking for does near the bedding area that I created right near the waterhole. So I'm going to say it's a win, Justin.
Yeah,
I know you have
100%.
You can call it whatever you want to call it, but I'm calling it a win. It's a win.
It's like one of those things that in your mind it sounds perfect, you know? Makes you feel good, so you just tell yourself that.
Why not?
And I'm okay with
Why
that.
would you not do that? I mean, I went there. It's the second nice buck that I've killed off of this spot.
So did you kill him out of the same tree you killed? What was that deer's name? Kickstand or something?
Yeah.
Same tree?
Same tree.
He looks similar.
He does.
That just frame, his whole frame
He
and
does.
everything.
He does. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll have to. We might as well talk about it. I wasn't planning on talking about this right now, but let's just talk about it since we're talking. Dude, it was a cool hunt. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was like, it was just wild. I never had turned. I went far left, then I had to turn the camera all the way to the right. Then I went back to the left. Dude, it was just freaking awesome. I mean, I rattled them in 3 different times, dude. All with that.
That's kind of cool.
Listen, we talked about it earlier today
still.
about the whole luck thing. Like, you know, every once in a while we'll get guys on the team or we'll watch other people. We're like, that just never happens to me. I got the femoral artery. Like, why can't that happen to me when I'm back? You know, and it just falls over dead. Like, I can't.
I mean,
I'm just saying. Like,
I think what we're mostly talking about is like every time you get in your stand, you pretty much say to yourself, I just wish a big buck would go from right there and kind of just do and walk down and just kind of stop right here, you know.
Yes.
And that very, very rarely happens.
Very rarely
But every
happens.
time you go out, at least I do. I like in my mind, I play this scenario of like it's gonna come from over there and down here.
I've done it. I do
whatever. And like that's what. And every once in a while they do that, and you're like, wow, that was amazing. That's what I wanted to have
Justin,
happen.
I mean, seriously, dude, I had my rattling antlers wrapped up. I don't want to ruin the whole story. I captured this whole thing on a 360 camera, so like nobody can even say, oh, baloney, you didn't rattle them 3 times.
Do you think people would really say that?
Oh, yeah, they all say it. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. But I'm just, I think it's kind of a hard to believe story because like sometimes it's hard enough just to get one buck to respond to a rattle, right? Like it's so hit or miss. It's even like a decoy. Like when they're in the mood and it's going to happen, like I know it's one of your goals. It happens, you know. It's like you're thinking it's never going to happen, and all of a sudden it's like, man, here comes one posturing up, and it's ready to do its thing. But, I couldn't believe it. You know what? I was going to rattle, and I looked down. I'm like, oh, Todd, you're a moron. You forgot to unwrap your rattling. I usually don't rattle in the afternoons.
How long does that take to unwrap your rattling?
Dude, I got that long rubbery cord, and it's a little bit of a process because it kind of like gets hung up. It's not the best thing. I need to come up with a better way.
You know what I started using was one of those. I know you have them too. Was it called the Titan strap?
Ooh,
remember,
no,
it's that. It's like we got those Mystery Ranch ones. They're a little long strap, and
you go around one time with a little thing.
Well, yeah, it's got like a little
hook. Dude, sometimes that hook can be hard to figure out. Like if you don't get it right. You ever know? I know. At least I thought.
Well, I started using that thing to secure my antlers. I just wrap it around a couple times and then hook, and man, it's been great. I love it.
I'm gonna look at that because
I was doing what you were doing with the big long.
I forgot what they call those.
The night eyes gear tie.
But dude, if it catches on anything, it's like it's really annoying. So I was trying to get that thing unwrapped, and I'm using like the 48-inch one.
My God,
I know, dude, it's dumb. Whatever. I don't want it to come undone. It starts to rattle when I'm on my bike. So I get these things unrattled, dude. I rattle, dude. It's amazing. I don't want to ruin it. You got to watch the hunt 3 times. Got him in. You know what? Call it luck. Call it skill. I'm calling it skill. Pure rattling skills.
Pure hard work, determination, dedication.
Dude, permission
to your craft.
piece. Keep going. Yeah, every other thing.
Permission piece. That's the thing that like I don't even know where that arose from anymore.
Dude, you taught me that. I learned it from you because everyone started. Man, this was a
didn't say
permission
that.
piece. Oh my gosh! Like seriously,
I didn't come up with that.
This is what deer
stupid-ass
hunting's
term.
turned into. You know, it's like.
Well, first it was like we had to divide people, right? You were either a public land guy or a private land guy. And those private land guys, real pieces of shit. You're not cool unless you're on public land. Then there was all the private land guys that were like, well, I'm a private land guy, but I just have permission. I don't actually pay to be here. So I'm a little bit better than the guy that's paying to be there. So then we segregated private land into permission farms and leases, which is just the stupidest
Oh, you pay
thing.
for a lease.
Yeah.
So
Does this
what?
fall into the same
Losers.
category as like overused hunting phrases?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one bugs the living daylights out of me. You know what else bugs me? A lot of things, Brandon. But when people
We know
say
that, Justin. We know
when
that.
people say they're letting their trail cameras soak, like I don't know why, that just has always annoyed me. Have you heard
Dude,
that one?
what?
You never heard that?
No, what is this?
It's been
now?
out there soaking for a while.
What?
This is when you had like
soaking in the sun.
no, so
you haven't
it's
checked it in
gathering
a while?
all the pictures. It's soaking, dude. It's getting all those pictures, and then I'm gonna go check the card. That's back when we had to check cards. I don't do that anymore.
I do. You know what? I like
I'm too
checking my
lazy.
cards. You know what? I'm sorry, but yeah, that's a whole other topic. There's so many topics we could talk forever. But dude, I love cellular cameras and they're fun. But this is just another example where, you could miss out on a cellular camera, dude. Like this deer was not coming to the spot. Like if you're counting on the scrapes or you're counting on the water hole, like, dude, you're just going and physically sitting in a tree stand and observing for yourself what's going on versus a trail cam. You can't. It's just they're in different universes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Trail cameras are the internet of hunting. They are the greatest thing, but they're also the worst thing. Right? Or I'll say social media. Cellular trail cameras are the social media equivalent of
Speaking
like
of
hunting.
social media, let's just switch gears because we're always switching gears. I love trail cameras. I did go crazy this year. I'm getting back to my old roots. I put out like almost 12 different
Almost
cameras.
12, so like 10 or 11?
I think 10 and a half.
Oh.
One of them ran out of batteries and I
Got
had a
it.
jury rig
Got
something. I'm just kidding.
It only takes daylight photos.
Yeah. No, I put out at least 10 or 12 cameras on different trails because I'm not going to check them till the end of the season. I just want to let them soak, and I'm going to.
I was waiting for that.
Soak for months.
for months on end, and then I'm gonna go check those cards. Then it's like Christmas. Maybe I'll even pull them right before Christmas and then go look at all those cards. But speaking of social media, this is the part I love about social media. This is great. This is a great post. A moose being rescued. Does this look like a moose to you? Have you? Last time I looked. This is the part there, with AI and fake images and people
moose.
just not knowing what they're talking about.
Well, because this came from some random, who even follows this page?
I
Art
don't know.
Beyond Ordinary?
Well, because
Seems like
it's
a
an
bot.
elk somehow. It's
a bot, and it's AI, and it's the Russians. Russian misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
That is no moose.
That's not
That
a
is an
moose.
elk.
It's a monster elk.
It's crazy what AI can do with video, like making people.
Dude,
people.
I found something for you too that I need to share with you. I meant to share it to you last time, but another thing just to help speed up our productions around here and stuff like that. Dude, I don't know, man.
Can AI
You're gonna have to start shooting
generate
deer.
a video of me shooting a big buck?
Yeah?
Yes,
That'd be
it
pretty
can.
sweet. It'd be a
Yeah.
great episode.
That's a complete AI hunt.
Well, with the fact
I want it
check
to
the
be a
hunt.
giant. The 1,000-inch buck that I saw, I want AI to create
That's
a
right.
video
Let's
of
talk about
It
that.
doesn't get
me
the
We're
rack.
gonna
shooting
talk
the
about that
1,000-inch
last time.
deer.
Yeah. It doesn't get the rack right. I've tried.
Well,
to
did you see the 1,000-inch deer? It doesn't even look like a deer, so it doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
It's just a massive.
Someone shot that 1,000-inch
blob
deer.
of-
Talk about the 1,000-inch deers for the people that are listening. Don't know about this 1,000-inch deer.
Well, I mean, I didn't go into the rabbit hole of the deep dive, but I did enough to basically see that some high fence ranch bred what is, I guess, officially maybe the first 1,000-inch whitetail.
1,000
And then
inches.
some dude paid a whole bunch of money and he came and shot it. Do you do that and then you're just like, God, I'm so proud of myself and my accomplishment for shooting this freaky. No, that's not even it. I found it. I sent it to Brody because he was.
It might be in our Bowhunting Bros.
publish
So
it.
we're gonna
Well,
do
he was going to
something.
publish it on the website because the idea here is it looks like a monstrosity. It doesn't even look like a deer.
Oh no,
like a deer rack.
dude! You might
that-
think
that we-
AI created it
that
based
we
on
know
the
of.
photo.
I just don't understand the allure of creating something that is so completely unnatural.
How
and
can it
then
even
being
carry- how
like,
can it
look
even-
what we did.
How can it even carry that?
I thought the same thing. Like gosh,
dude,
that's got to be a lot of weight.
It'd be miserable. It'd be terrible.
Or it just gets stronger neck muscles, and it's like, I'm a badass.
I'm not. I don't have strong enough. No, it didn't look like it had strong enough neck muscles. It looked miserable. The deer probably was like, "Shoot me."
Maybe he was like, please, guy,
It was.
shoot me. What do you think it cost to shoot the world's first 1,000-inch buck?
75,000?
Oh, gee, that much? I mean, maybe.
Oh,
I don't
dude,
know.
that's cheap.
I was gonna go 35.
I was gonna say
No
like
way.
30.
You guys are smoking crack. No. Dude, no. I remember one
If I was
time.
smoking crack, Todd, this
No.
would be a great
Bob.
episode.
No, you guys are way wrong. I'm telling you, like a lot of those places, it's
Todd knows
$20K
from
to go.
experience.
No, it's $20,000 even to go hunt there, Justin. I mean, then you pay per inch. So, that's how they kind of protect themselves, because you go in there and you shoot one of their megas.
So they have an incentive
It's not just
to
dude. It's not a.
Low-
It's
low
a
money,
per
low
inch.
problems.
Yeah, dude. It's a per inch deal. It's not. You just go into the high fence place and you just spend 20 grand. You get to pick one out. No,
it's like
a base
you get
price
to go
plus
into
inches.
I don't know, some sort of record book. Like
Does it?
SCI or something has one?
Maybe SCI will take it, but really, has high fence SCI too?
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
just
know. I
making
don't
stuff
know
up
either.
right now. Isn't that
Because
what
we
I
could do that on the internet.
Fact check me, bro.
I don't know the deal on that.
I couldn't understand how you would score the deer. Like, how do you figure out, like if you could find, is it on the website? Go to bowhunting.com. Brody was working on an article. Is it up? It might be up.
Let me check.
I feel like there should be some way to scan it.
Trophy scan.
Not yet. I don't think it's up yet. It's coming.
It's coming up. But it doesn't even, like, how do you figure out what the brow tine is or what the G2 or 3 is? Like,
No, dude, it's so dumb.
like,
So when you look at this picture,
it's just a mass of antler, and it's in velvet still. I don't know. It's ugly.
yeah.
I'm still a fan of the water displacement method.
I've been saying that for a long time. 100%. Because that gets everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, so the volume.
Just look
Yeah.
We
at
want
the,
to measure the volume.
You kind of told me to go to look at our website. I mean, it's like, dude, the big buck roundups. There's always some nice bucks here, man. Some
Yeah.
big bucks here. If you're not staying up to with our big buck roundup, we do it weekly. Ben,
If you haven't
does a
shot a
great
big
job.
buck and you want to be jealous over people who have,
whoa,
go to bowhunting.com and look at the big buck roundups.
dude, they're nice ones, man. There's some
If
big
you want to
bucks
feel
here.
terrible about yourself,
Big
go
bucks.
look at that.
Big bucks right here. Okay. Well, Justin, last week we were talking about deer hunting depression. Does the depression keep getting worse each week now that we are a week
Well, you killed a
closer?
deer, so your deerpression should be non-existent.
I'm feeling pretty solid, but still generally pretty disappointed in my hunting spots, what I'm picking up on cameras, and the quantity of deer. I'm just saying, yes, I'm very happy. I don't want people to be like, oh, yeah, you're a loser. You know, 'cause
Must
you shot.
be nice.
Must be. But
That's
but
what
it
everyone
is
likes
just
to say.
generally
Must
a
be
little
nice.
disappointing.
No,
to-
the response to that is like, yeah, it is nice. So suck it. Anybody that's jealous, it is nice. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's nice that I shot one, but I'm disappointed in still my area and the quantity of deer that I'm seeing. It's repressed. Dude, don't you listen? Your spot is not far from my spot, and you are feeling and questioning the
There
same
are
thing.
less deer
Totally
and less
quality.
quality older age class bucks than I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I told you, I sat basically all day yesterday,
Which is amazing.
and I saw.
That's hard.
It was until the last 10 minutes of legal light before I saw a deer. And I mean, I came out of the stand at about 11:30.
Dude,
and
you can't
I
come
was
out at
back,
11:30.
and I
That's
was
a mistake.
Back in, I had to eat something, dude, and I had my 12-year-old kid. I'm like, wasn't gonna make him sit all
can
day.
make it to the truck by himself without you.
We went back to and I was changing stands. I wasn't
All right.
gonna sit there all day.
I know, but I think you're better off doing that move between 10 and 11. I see so much more activity, at least
Dude,
on my
I
cameras.
think you're full of crap.
Well,
I
that's
don't think
fine.
it
We can
matters.
argue all day long. I feel like I see more deer between that 11:30 and 2. I think.
Well,
you're moving
I
at
can
the
tell
wrong
you, I
time.
was sitting at my truck, looking across the field, at the corner of the field that I was going to hunt, and there was no deer in it for the hour that I sat there and ate my peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
The inside corner that you can't see?
I couldn't shoot it anyway, so the only thing I could shoot is the field.
Well, then that's dumb. Why would you want to reduce your odds? Wouldn't you want to have at least one lane in case it's stuck behind you? I've gotten better at that. I have stopped putting myself. We've talked about this a few episodes ago. I mean, I don't like putting myself in situations where I lose 50% of my shooting windows or opportunities. You gotta have as many opportunities as you can, dude.
When I'm hunting on the edge of a field, I'm shooting into the field.
Yeah, I know, but during the rut, a lot of times these bucks don't want to come into the field. They just want to kind of.
That's why I have my decoys
edges
out there.
Okay. Listen, I am not going to win this battle right now. I'm just saying for myself,
Well, of
personally.
course, more opportunities. But dude, not every stand is set up to be able to allow you to shoot into a thicket where the deer aren't. Like, I couldn't shoot into it anyway.
Fair enough.
It's like a giant blowdown behind me. What am I going to shoot in there? A squirrel? You know what I saw yesterday? I saw a mink.
That's cool. I saw a dead one driving home. Do you know what I saw the other day?
I got a video of it too.
That's cool. We'll have to share the video. I wish I had my 360 on. This was a shame. I'm sitting there just, I was kind of like getting pissy. So about 10 o'clock, I wasn't seeing anything that morning. And dude, all of a sudden, this squirrel just, bam! Dude, he missed his limb. And he fell and he just, dude, it was right here. It was like 15 feet from me. Like, dude, he just, bam!
Natural selection.
He just fell on the ground, dude. He's like, whoa. I got up and I was watching. I'm like, I look up immediately, like, I didn't have my 360 on. This would have been unbelievable to just get him going through the air. He must have jumped and just missed the lid, dude. He was fine. Like, he shook it off after about a minute and was like, holy crap. He shook it off.
Well, he knew you were there. He was like, I can't look like a sissy.
Yeah, I can't look like an idiot. He went and died behind the log. I got. We've all done that. You do something
100%.
stupid.
You're like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Nobody saw that.
You trip and fall. You're like, no, I'm good. And you freaking try to get out of there.
Right. So, am I a bad person for?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Oh, gosh.
See, that's why I was clarifying specifically for this
Comment
reason.
below if you want to add to that.
So yesterday, while we were sitting at the truck eating our peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and
Those are so good.
venison snack sticks, which were delicious,
How is that not good?
there was a raccoon that was just chilling, and clearly it was not well. Like, it didn't spook. It didn't, like, it sat there. It just looked at us. And then it would lay down and then stand up. And then at one point, it was, like, looking up into the air. And it was, like, clearly something was not right with this raccoon. And I was like, well, should I have just shot it and killed it? I came back after dark, and it was still there. And I walked almost right up to it. And it was just, like out of it. And I was like, I feel bad. I wish I wanted to just kill it, but I didn't want to waste a broadhead on it. I didn't have a gun or anything to shoot it. Like,
you gotta let it. You just leave it alone.
I felt like a bad person for not killing it, though.
No, dude, no, man. It's just wildlife. Sometimes you're better off just leaving it alone. Maybe he's having a bad day. What happens if one day you came and you were not feeling well? Me and Brandon wouldn't just go shoot you. Like, hey, I want to lay down on the couch for 3 minutes, guys. I'm not feeling well. Hey, Brandon, he's not looking good. Let's just go shoot him. Maybe he was just having a bad day. Maybe he got hit by a car, rolled a little bit. He's gonna be all right. He just needs to just shake it off.
He wasn't looking so hot.
Dude,
maybe a coyote will come eat him.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. You're gonna go. He won't be there next time you go.
Yeah, because something will have eaten him.
But you don't have to think that way. You can be like, oh look, dude, he felt better and he's off and running now, eating all the turkey eggs.
You see, that's what I thought too. I was like, well, what if he does get better and then he eats all turkey eggs?
You did not think that at the time. I'm just.
You know what I did think though? I was unsure. Do I need a trapping fur bearing license to kill a coyote?
That's what I was thinking.
Or not a coyote, a coon. That's the other thing I was thinking.
Dude,
I'm not sure if this is legal if I shoot this thing.
I
don't think your small game license allows you to shoot a raccoon.
I don't know. Do you?
I think you need a trapping, like a fur bearer's license.
Just in general, just kill them as like rodents or nuisance animals?
No, I don't think so.
No.
How about yotes? Yotes, you don't need a
coyote,
fur bearing.
just a regular hunting license, but a raccoon, I'm pretty sure, is like a.
Do you need a trapping license for
raccoons?
Raccoons.
I think you do. See, we're always hitting on the hard questions. We touch on a lot of legalities lately.
Whoa. I did not know this.
What? You do need one, right?
You need a valid trapping license and a state habitat stamp
Yeah, we already have habitat
trap.
stamps.
But is trapping shooting?
Or are you? I don't know. So you mean like if you're just out with the dogs?
I mean, trapping is trapping, shooting is shooting. I don't know. In rural areas, a hunting or trapping license is needed to harvest a raccoon. In rural areas, there is no limit on the number of raccoons that an individual with a hunting or trapping license may take. You'd have to go on the website to read more on this because they're confusing people by saying individual with a hunting or trapping.
Maybe I could have shot
It's almost like giving you the
because
option.
I wasn't trapping him. I don't know. Either which way, I didn't do anything. I felt like a bad person.
We're way off course here right now. So let's go ahead and let's try to swing back on course.
So
Justin,
here's the next thing we're going to talk about because
Okay.
you brought this up.
I didn't
earlier.
bring it up. I didn't bring nothing up. I don't know what you're talking about.
You brought this up earlier.
I did not bring this up.
People shooting crossbows because you
I did
asked
not
me,
bring this
do
up.
you know that such and such people are hunting with crossbows? And I was like, yeah, I know. And you were like, oh, well, that's just one of those things that like a lot of people like they do it, but they don't publicize it.
Shoot. Dude,
Yeah, exactly.
I got a
I gotta-
team's
I
call
gotta
at
go.
1 o'clock.
So here,
Brand's like, what?
here's my thing. So I know, and I think we've all known people. Some people are really good hunters, meaning they put themselves into positions to have an opportunity.
Notice this very deep thought. I'm really seeing where Justin's going to. I'm taking this in. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Are you sure?
I'm all in. Go ahead.
So you have some people that are good hunters. They can get into position to have an opportunity to shoot a good animal on a fairly regular basis. Some of those same people are not very good archers. For whatever reason, they struggle at the moment of truth to make the shot count. And I've known people, I mean, I can think going back to as a kid, I remember one of my dad's friends.
I would highly recommend you keep those names to yourself right now.
I had one of my dad's friends when I was a kid that I just remember the guy would shoot and lose. It felt like 3, 4, 5 deer a year, right? And this
Dude,
wasn't just
that's a
like
lot.
this wasn't just like a fluke. Like this was like every year. Like I think we've all had like we've gone through a slump or maybe a bad year or something like that. But this was like year in and year out. And there's some people that's just like they notoriously just wound deer and can't find them for whatever reason. And the question is like, are they taking bad shots that they shouldn't be taking? Are they shooting too far? Are they just panicking and having buck fever? Regardless, like there's some people out there I feel like
Boy, I don't know that
would
I would
be
want
better
to share
off.
this information if I was at my 3rd or 4th loss of the year. I'd be like too ashamed of myself.
I
Dude, I mean, I
agree.
feel bad. Like I've lost deer before, and it's like
We
man,
all have, but I
almost
think
feel like
there's-
you had to burn your tag and.
But I think
like,
there's
eh.
some people, yeah, but they can't make you do that.
I know. I'm just.
So there's some people that I think finally just go, you know what? Maybe I'm just not the best bow hunter in the world. And I'm going to go try to use a crossbow instead because I feel like I would wound less deer and be more lethal with a crossbow. And for me,
This is a long question. Is this a question? Is this,
no, it's not a question. We're just talking. I've always said, and I take the example of my neighbor, right? And this is just a fictitious neighbor. This is not a person. I'm just making it up. If I had a neighbor who didn't really practice a lot, wasn't because there's, I guess where I'm going with this is like, there's no governing body that says like you have to pass some sort of proficiency test before you pick up a compound bow and go try to shoot a deer with it, right?
They do that on conservation.
Correct, but the
properties.
average person, you don't have to do that.
No,
right?
you could
So
go
this
buy.
is
You
the-
could go buy a bow tomorrow.
This is the age old. It was the night before the hunting season, and I went into. You and I would stop at Gander Mountain in frickin' Janesville, and there'd be dudes in there buying broadheads and arrows so they could go hunt the next morning, right? And we've always said like there's a ton of those people out there, right? That are just going out winging arrows all over the place. For
Yes.
me, if I had to choose between my neighbor being one of those guys or just getting a crossbow that is no doubt easier to shoot accurately, easier to kill a deer with, I'd rather have him just go kill his damn deer cleanly and get out of the woods versus wounding and making these deer into pincushions and losing them all over the place because now they're killing in a lot of cases more than they would if they would just, you know,
So
shoot
you
a deer and
basically
be done with
want to you're trying to clean up the non-typical gene pool.
That's
how we get our
well, these aren't
non-typical,
genes,
man.
but yeah, but that's not genetic. That's from an injury.
That's true. Sorry, I said that improperly. Do I have to comment on this?
Why? You don't want to comment on this?
Listen, I only have one issue with the compound, but with the crossbows, is when people don't pose with them. That's my problem. I have a problem with that.
Because
I
they're
have a
afraid
problem
that
with
you're going to judge them.
No, but-
What you mean is when they take a trophy photo,
Yeah, dude. I mean,
and
come
there's no
on.
crossbow
Yeah,
in the
come
trophy
on.
photo.
I mean, what? I mean, you
And
went
they
out-
do it on purpose. They do it on purpose.
I mean, why would you do that? Like,
To
I mean,
avoid
like
guys
you went-
like you that make them ashamed that they
I'm
shot
not
it with
making
a
anybody
crossbow.
ashamed of anything. I'm just saying, like, own it. Own it. There's nothing wrong with owning it. If you're going to go out and hunt with a crossbow, that's great. That's fine. Be ethical. Take good shots. Do everything the right way as you should. But then, man, don't be ashamed not to pose with the crossbow. That's lame. That's lame. That's lame. I'm just saying that's lame.
Yeah. There was a video recently, a
Just
YouTube
saying.
video of this big buck that this guy killed. And like the cover photo, you know, this dude with this monster buck. Oh, man, kill it, you know. And then you watch the video and he's, you know, shooting it with a crossbow at 70 yards out of a box blind. You know, it's just like, well, this was lame. This isn't what I signed up for. Like, I never would have clicked on the video if I
Clickbait.
knew what I was getting into, you know. And there was a lot of
Now
people
they're going to
in
keep
the
serving. Now
comments,
they're going to start.
you know.
Now they're going to keep serving that. You know, they're going to keep serving those.
So, anyways, that's just my, I guess, opinion on the crossbow thing. Like, let's face it, there's people out there that probably shouldn't be hunting with a compound bow. That just can't do it.
Yeah, but I think the secret.
And
is
it's
then
not
let
like
them
a
get
physical
closer. I mean,
enable.
get 'em
Yeah,
in
but
closer.
dude,
What you think they're just getting the shakes too bad? Just too much buck fever? Just too much? What do you?
I don't know. I'm not there with them. I can speculate all day. I don't know what happens. But there's a lot of people out there that, you know, might be better off with a crossbow. We've all known them.
I'm not.
I'm looking
not
at
being
you.
baited into that. I'm not going here. I'm not. I know where he wants to go with this. I'm not going. I'm not going to bite your bait. I'm not going there.
That's too bad.
I'm not. I'm not falling for this. Well, it's not over yet, guys. I mean, right now we're switching gears for the 10,000th time during this. You know, I'm just thinking about it's November 11th right now. A lot of people have killed some great bucks on November 11th. My taxidermist that I use right now said November 11th is his favorite day. Gosh, I went out there to grab Chipotle real quick before filming this today, and man, dude, I mean, I almost feel like a summer day out there. Like,
Oh my God, it's a summer day.
okay, that's a stretch.
That's a little much.
It just doesn't.
It was supposed
feel,
to originally, when I checked the forecast, they said it was going to be
doesn't feel
29
great.
tonight. Now
Balmy
they changed it
54
to
degrees.
33. Yeah, I
54
can
right
get
now?
down on some 54 degrees. You and I can disagree on this all day, dude. If I had a lot of 50-degree days to hunt,
I'd
be
rather
all
go
about
30s,
that.
dude. I want 30s.
Nah, man, I'm good.
30s.
I'm good at 50s. It's
Comment
like
below. I want to hear
decent
your
amount of.
I want
feel
to
like
hear
it's
what
not
your favorite.
suppressing the deer movement, right?
Nah,
and
dude.
it's comfortable to hunt in. Like,
Dude,
I'm-
32 degrees. That's beautiful. Dude, you get to wear your better gear. Dude, you feel like you're hunting. No way. 30 degrees all day long. 50, no.
I'm all about
You're
that.
weak.
If it got cold at night, that way when you shoot one and you make a bad shot, you got to leave it overnight. It's nice and cold.
All right.
And then 50s during the day, like ooh,
November the
going
11th.
out on a 55-degree afternoon.
November 11th. I'm going back to
Money.
November 11th. Justin, we talked about some deer depression. We talked about stay off social media. Not everyone's shooting them. Don't think everyone's shooting them. Yeah, when you're on social media, it feels like everyone's shooting them. Why does everyone this time of the year always post deer that they shot from like 3 and 4 years ago and stuff? Like, why do people do that? Like,
Is that a thing?
I keep seeing that pop up. I'm like, why are we doing that?
Are
Like,
they
I
just
don't-
sharing memories?
they must be sharing memories or something. I just don't know. It just seems weird to me. But
Maybe I'll share a memory. Back when I used to shoot deer.
do you know what they still look like? You all right?
I haven't seen many of them, so I could be forgetting what they look like.
Listen, there's no
I normally
doubt.
wouldn't have hunted a field on November 10th.
I was gonna say something, but I was keeping my mouth shut. But
Well, I
you want to do
normally
the
would-
decoy, and you're hoping
Yes,
that maybe it comes
100%.
across and sees one's ticked
Yeah,
off and then comes
100%.
in.
I was like, I'm gonna go, and I
Like-
didn't really have the best wind for like some of my timber spots. I'm like, I'm never gonna kill one over a decoy if I don't keep hunting over it.
No,
You
no,
know
no.
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that makes sense. Like,
But
listen,
like
if-
normally November 10th, I'm not sitting on a field because
way.
dude, those does have been getting pressured so hard. They're not coming out.
I'm not getting it.
those
I got a
fields.
couple of those 360 cameras out on some beautiful food plots. Dude,
Those does are like,
Dude.
oh, no.
I
Nope.
mean,
Nope.
360, I'm getting coverage all the way around. They're not coming out.
Yeah.
They're not coming out. They do not want to be harassed. They've been harassed and harassed. Now is when you just find them in the most dumbest spots. You know, you got to really just hunt closer to roads, go behind people's houses. Like they're just, I don't know what it is. These doe know where to go.
I'm not sure I
squirrel in
can
the
hunt in
areas.
any dumber spots. I've been hunting in dumb spots, clearly. I've been trying that.
Hunting dumb
unsuccessfully.
spot. That'll be the name of this one. Well, you know what I'm saying. It's amazing to me how these doe can go hide and disappear. Dude, I mean, I'm not even getting pictures of does right now.
Why are they hiding? Aren't they supposed to want to breed?
Dude, I
Is
just
this-
think they get harassed so much.
Are they married?
Yeah. No, I just think they're harassed so much. Do they just get tired? Dude, they just go try. They're like ticks. Oh, talking about ticks. Good Lord.
That's the one thing that I will give you. You know what was
Dude.
bothering me yesterday is those gnats.
Oh.
My
tick.
God,
No,
the gnats were
I'll
flying
take
all
gnats
over me.
all day long, dude. Those ticks this year are bad. We have not had a hard frost. They are still out and active. I have never seen so many. Dude, the little ones too, the ones that you just don't. The big ones I don't mind as much because at least you can feel them, you can see them. Dude, those little ones, man, dude, I've been like rubbing my hair. Dude, I'm telling you, I've had a lot of ticks on me lately. I'm not digging that. I hate ticks. I do not like ticks. Didn't you have some ticks on you last time we went out shooting photos?
Yeah, I had one. But now, now that you're saying this, everybody's probably like just scratch. Like I was just scratching my head, like this makes me irk.
Dude,
Feel
they're
them crawling
bad.
on
You
me.
didn't find any ticks? Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
have.
not recently.
Yeah, they're bad. Check yourself for ticks. Look out for ticks. Deer depression.
I know we'll check each
Don't
other
sweat it.
after
It's
this.
November the 11th. Man, listen, there's
I
plenty
like
of
the
time.
15th through like the 24th. Like I've had good luck.
I will
killing
give
deer
Justin
then.
credit. You have always had some really good hunts between the 20th and the 24th.
Yeah, I would say maybe the 15th and the end of the month. Like I've always.
You
liked-
have.
Like if somebody came to me and said you have to pick the first 15 days of November or the second, I would take the second 15 days of November. The first 15 days, dude, is so freaking hit or miss.
It is.
And they're running like crazy. You can't get them to stop. You can't, like, it's just like, and then they're locked down. I feel like by the 15th, most of the does are bred. They free up. They're a lot more responsive to calling, but they're still moving during daylight. Again, gun to my head, somebody said first 15 or second, I would go the second half of November.
Second half of November or the last 15 days in October?
You know, I used to say the last 15 days of October, but I clearly suck at killing deer then, too. So I might go the second half of November. I just feel like they're still covering ground in daylight
I
quite a
agree.
bit.
Yeah.
They're kind of in that desperation mode. The bar's
Yeah.
closing, and they don't want to go home alone, you know?
Jeez. Yeah. I've. Oof.
The problem with waiting till the second half of November is...
You got that gun season, dude.
well, I don't care about that.
I do.
Whatever. Well, you got all the guys with bows whacking them for 45 days, you know, before November 15th.
And
at least around
crossbows,
here.
and then you got to worry about shotguns. That's tough. Yeah, that's tough. But you do have, yeah, that's tough. Okay, I won't touch on that. Well, I'm all in still. I'm trying to find a second buck. I know
Oh.
you're trying to find your first one.
Todd's out there saying, no, there's not a lot of bucks around. I'm going to go shoot another one. That's a solid plan.
I'm not even sure how to respond to that.
Well, I mean,
I just said I'm going to continue to try. It doesn't mean I'm going to get one. Doesn't mean I'm going to let an arrow fly. But if one that shows up that it meets my criteria on
Yeah.
a different farm than the farm that I've been hunting, yes, I'm going to shoot.
Does your criteria change after you've shot the first buck?
Of course.
Like,
Sure.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I think we should go to a one buck state. That's one of the big reasons. Because everybody's always not as picky with that first tag. Not that you wouldn't have shot the deer you killed. This doesn't really apply to you and your situation because that was a great
Dude, that's the
you
deer I
shot.
wanted. I mean, that
Yeah,
was
he
my
was a
target.
mature, like
I
but
let
for
that
a lot
other
of
one
people,
go, dude. That other one I let go,
right,
and that's
but
a
for
nice
a lot
buck.
of people, When you know you've got that second tag in your pocket and that first good 3-year-old comes walking through, you're like, I'll whack this one because I still got another tag, right?
You think we'll ever go to a $1 state in Illinois?
Probably not. I don't even know how it would happen.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Like, I don't know what's the pathway we would need to go down in order to get that law changed.
CWD and sharpshooting and all
but
this
with
stuff just
CWD
keeps
and
taking
sharpshooting,
the numbers down so low.
Yeah, but they want the deer killed, so why would they limit the number you can kill? There's no benefit to the, if the DNR and the scientists are saying, hey, we want less deer, what's the benefit of saying you can now only shoot one buck? There's zero benefit to them.
True.
So yeah, I don't think we'll ever get there, and you're never gonna I saw a post on a Facebook group the other day of a guy that killed 2 bucks. He's like, I'm bucked out or whatever, and the first one was
a t-shirt?
A 2.5-year-old, and then he killed a 3-year-old, and the second one I was like, oh my god,
Dad's shaming. You just shamed somebody right there.
So sometimes people deserve to be shamed, Todd.
You're just hoping that they let some of these other ones go?
It sure would be nice for not just for me, but for everybody. We're all sitting around bitching about the same thing. Like, we're all part of the problem or part of the solution. It sucks when we...
I would go all. Not all. I know some disciplined people out there that own property that, they want to shoot one and then they move off to another piece of property to try to leave.
Yeah, those are the people that are hoarding all the ground for themselves and preventing access for other people. So they're also part of a different problem, the access problem.
I'm at a loss of words.
What?
Comment below. Help me out here to what Justin just said. I'm just going to shut up right now. I definitely miss...
people, you can't get mad at me for speaking truth, Todd. This is all truth.
I miss the days of seeing more deer. I do. And the quantity of deer in northern Illinois is the lowest that I have personally have ever seen it.
One of my farms that I hunt, which is traditionally the deer with, not the deer, which is traditionally the farm with the fewest deer on it, has the most deer physically on it than I've probably ever seen. Just no bucks.
No age class.
I have no age class. I have does and young bucks coming out of my ass. I have 0 older age class deer on a giant farm that nobody else really hunts, which is just depressing. But all my young bucks keep getting whacked by cars and neighbors. So it's like, this is back to what we talked about earlier about trying to let deer go so that hopefully, but it's like, dude, every year, it's like year in and year out, they're just whacked and killed and dead. And it's like, what are we doing here?
That right there is a reel. I want to see that reel. Well, guys, it's
hashtag never pass. Kill them all.
November the 11th.
Whatever.
I've said it 3 or 4 times. There's still a lot of good hunting. You heard it right here from Justin, the 15th.
Todd told me the late season was the best time to hunt. That's what you said before.
Well, it is, but we're not talking about November. The late season now we're talking. The problem with the late season, I love late season. I do love late season. How can you not love late season hunting? It is fun. They're more patternable. You're able, if you have food, obviously it's definitely a benefit, a bonus. But man, they do become slaves to their stomach. We've talked about it here on the show for years. We've watched a lot of our guys be very successful in the late season, but there is a big but that comes with it. You can't control Mother Nature. And when you don't have the weather that you really need for them to be a slave to their stomach, then it can be tough. Then it can be real tough. And we've been getting kind of warmer winters, and man, you get a lot less of those really heavy cold snaps or long periods of duration where
it forces them onto the food.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, here you get a lot of snow, right? And you're like, okay, great. That's covered up a lot of food for them just to be able to get easy picking. Then that really puts them into some of those better food plots. Then all of a sudden, like two days later, we get like a warm up. It all melts, and then they're right back to kind of being scattered. Because deer love browse. Like, they don't need food plots. I mean, they'll be very happy eating woody browse. They don't need or have to go to the food plots. But when everything gets snowed on and covered, and they get a little bit more, that winter pressure, that's a different story. But I do like the late season, and we are getting the signal that we're probably The bat
Is
signal.
that the bat signal, Brando?
Yes.
That's the bat
When the
signal.
GoPro turns itself off.
I'm pumped. It is the rut. Guys, there's a big buck. Could be around the next tree. You got to be looking, though. Get off the phone.
Around the next tree?
Have you been on the phone when you're in the tree stand?
100%. I watched the Bears get their asses kicked yesterday.
That's why you're not seeing any deer, dude. Real hunters are not doing that.
I'm set up on a cut cornfield staring at my decoy. If there's not a deer there, like I was like, if ever there was a time to be able to watch a Bears game.
Do you have an
this is
ear
it.
pod in? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
I put one ear pod in.
Oh, man. Dude, people are going to start thinking you're soft as heck.
I don't
Is
give a
that
shit.
hunting? You're watching
What
the
else would
Bears
I have
game?
done?
Dude, enjoy nature. Get
Oh,
your
yeah.
binoculars out.
When
be
look at
looking.
what? I can only do that so many times. You don't think I do that before I'm bored out of my skull? It was like
2024, people
10
have
hours
attention spans of
into the day, and I hadn't seen a deer, Todd.
That's a long sit. I give you credit. I'm not doing it. It's
was
got to.
like,
I got to
you know
be
what?
seeing
The Bears
activity,
game's
or I'm
on.
moving.
And it
I'm
was
shaking.
At one AirPod. I couldn't hear anything anyways. I'm right next to the highway. It was windy as hell. It had just rained, so the leaves were wet. I was
That-
like,
you know
I
what that
can't hear
means?
shit.
Those bucks are just walking right by him in that thick area that he can't shoot.
Well, good. I'd rather not know they were there then at that point. All right.
All right, I'm wrapping this thing up. Justin, according to you, you're not even going hunting until the 15th through the 31st. So take a few days off.
That's not true.
Get
I'm
ready to-
hunting tomorrow morning.
Oh, whoa.
I won't kill anything,
Well,
but
he's
I'm
going.
going.
That's not true. It can happen.
But not with that
And he
attitude.
said, "Yes, yeah. What a bad attitude. Change your attitude."
That's the title of this episode.
All right,
Well,
guys.
it's what we say. Deer hunting's the dumbest thing in the world 99% of the time until you kill a deer, and then it's the greatest thing in the world. You know?
There's no doubt there are times when you are questioning deeply, why am I doing all this? There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it.
That's why I'm advocating for this little warmer weather. At least I'm not uncomfortable while I'm not seeing deer. You know?
I don't know, man. There's just something about, man, when I'm hunting, I just want to be cold. I want to feel like I'm into it. Like I just do. Dude, when you're just
I mean, I don't want to be sweating. It's not 50 degrees isn't warm
50 degrees is warm. It's warm. All right.
compared to 20. Yes.
I am killing this episode right now because we are starting to be unproductive. Comment below on when you think the best time to hunt is. Comment below whether or not you think 1,000-inch deer should be bred. And more importantly, comment below to tell Justin to change his attitude. Until the next time.
And if you think I
See you
should
at
have
the
killed the
water hole.
raccoon.